Yes, 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 yes. Big up, everybody. Welcome to Sprint Culture's 2023 World Championship wrap up. As you can see, I'm all by myself. Not for a long time. Tonight we are going to be joined by huge demand, a return from Great Britain's sprint veteran. He hates when I say that. Sprint veteran Nethaneel Mitchell-Blake. Also going to be joined by none other than another regular host, Trayvon Bromell. I kind of like that team. You know what I'm saying? Along with Justin, it's a formidable force, but unfortunately tonight, Justin's not going to be able to make it. He schedule's been crazy, but apparently he was on TMZ today to talk about the whole Noah Lyles versus the NBA situation. So keep an eye out for that. My Instagram viewers, I did come to y'all to tell y'all to go to the YouTube channel. So if you're still here, head over to Unconventional Productions on YouTube. I'll be all over the chat this time. Don't worry, I'm not missing no comments today, guys. I'm being for real. I'm gonna be on it. So all y'all head over to YouTube, Unconventional Productions right now. We'll get into all this World Championship drama. Catch up with y'all. So YouTube. So many things I want to cover today. I'll go through the list. I already stated one. Noah versus the NBA. Wow, that's gotten crazy. You know, Noah completed the double at the World Championships. Shakiri proved herself. Sharika Jackson, I swear when she crossed the line, it said 20 point on the clock. I don't know if those women are rolling, man. It begs the question, like, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, what's left for her? Is she done? Is she going to be all right next year? Talk about it. Will Elaine Thompson-Herah return to her regular form? It's one person, it's one scalp that Sha'Carri didn't get in that 100. Is she going to come back in full form? We don't know. Carson Warholm, not a dominant time on the clock, but definitely a dominant performance. And we will have to review the men's 400 meters because our predictions for that event in particular were actually kind of funny, considering the results. And those 4x100 meters on the women and the men's side. Definitely a lot to talk about there. My DMs were flooded with a bunch of comments about that, to say the least. Let me check out who we got in the chat right now. Millicent Coomson says Anson has some explaining to do. I definitely do. Who else? Can't wait for the apologies. I don't know what I'm apologizing for, but I know there's going to be some apologies from some people. I'm not saying any names, but there's 3 guests. Now I'm not one of the people that has to apologize. 3 hosts, I should say. Yo, big up the one named Real Talk. Yo. Big up Real Talk. I went over there for the first few days. And Real Talk was on it. She grinding, yo. You know, she paid for her own flight out there. She paid for her own accommodations. She stayed the whole time and kept the same enthusiasm and pop through the whole championships in the mix zone. And it was hot. Real Talk, it was hot out there. It was mad hot. You were working. And yo, a lot of those interviews came out amazing. And as the championships went on, I could see you kind of getting more in your groove, yo, like really finding your voice. I think that this was a real establishing championships for someone like Real Talk. The athletes know her, the athletes respect her, the athletes all want to talk to her. And this is an edge that she has over any other person in the mix zone right now. And she's working it, yo. So big up the one named Real Talk, yo. Yes, it's real cute. We met each other. We saw each other. We're like, yo, you were actually a real person. Yo, it was crazy to see her in real life and for her to see me in real life. So that was actually really interesting. These topics here, like some of the stuff here, I don't want to get into without Nethaneel or Trayvon being here, but we can kind of get into the Noah stuff because that's a pretty deep topic. For those in the chat, if you were here last week, I was basically saying, or before the championships, just to say, because we didn't have a show during the championships. So before the championships in the pre-show, I had stated that I didn't think Noah was going to win the double. Okay. I stated that when he said he was going to run 965 and 1910, however, that he was approaching the game from a different scope. Like, he's not only looking at what's happening on the track, he's looking at how he can maneuver in different ways off of the track. And throwing out those outlandish times is something, because it got people talking, it got people thinking, it got sound bites, it got a buzz, it got people doubting it. Maybe he wanted that. It got people believing in him. It made him believe. Whatever it did, off of the track, it had the effect it was supposed to. Noah ran 983. Fast, but I wouldn't say it's not a time that'll make people feel like they saw something out of the ordinary at the World Championships, but he was able to still win the 100 meters. A lot of it might have to do with him getting in people's heads, maybe. And he ran 19.5, was it 19.5 in that 200? I feel like it was pretty simple for him to win that event. That was after he won the 100. He probably knew he didn't have to run full out to win that 200, but he's the king of the sound bites. So when he said that 965 and 1910, he got what he wanted. And when he said what he said about the NBA champions not being world champions, he definitely got what he wanted. All right, Noah knew he wasn't going to be known for his double alone, not in the mainstream public. But you make a remark like this about NBA players and the NBA championship, you're definitely going to get a lot of fans from those sports, or for that sport, to kind of chime in like, what did you just say? What made it even better, though, is that these NBA players were so sour about it. They're in the comments pissed about what he said. For those who don't know, Noah Lyles was in a press conference and was asked about how he feels track and field can grow. And he basically expressed that it bothers him that they say the NBA champions are world champions, because that's not actually a world champion. It's an American league. They play within and against American teams, even though it's not only Americans in the league. It's confined to the States. And if you win that National Basketball Association championship. He didn't say it in the words I'm saying, but that's basically what he said. He said, world champion of what? That's a good question. A world champion of what? It's not. I feel like everything was silenced today when Greg Popovich, coach of the San Antonio Spurs, came straight out and was like, it's silly for them to say that it's a world championship. Let me tell you exactly what he said. Pop said this. And put it in my stories. Give me a second. Pop said, you guys can chime in what you think. It doesn't make sense for an NBA team to call themselves world champions. I don't remember anybody playing anybody outside of our borders to get that tag. That seems pretty simple to me. And it takes someone like him, one of the most renowned, well-known coaches in NBA history, to say, look, to say world champions doesn't make sense. I was surprised at how these players were like flipping out in the comments, and they're going low. Steven Jackson came in there talking like, man, you people ain't never gonna know you like they know LeBron. There's how much you win for that gold medal, how much money you get. It's like, Richard, we're not even talking about that. That has nothing to do with the conversation. I'm just saying, look, that's not a world champion. I feel like Noah at the World Championships, after he just wins and becomes world champion, can talk about what he thinks a world champion is. He can say whatever he wants, to be honest, because he's in a press conference with people there and listen to him. So if you want to listen to me, I got some shit to say. That's not a world champion over there. I'm a world champion. I don't want to be compared to that, because that's not really a world champion. What I'm doing is a world champion, or whatever world champion has done before me in this sport or in any other sport where there's a distinct and defined world champion. You guys want to know what a world champion is? Let me read the definition to you. World champion. Someone who has won a competition open to people throughout the whole world. There's been crazy reasoning that some of the players and analysts have been using, saying, well, there's some international players in the league, and these international players are the best international players in the world, so with them being the most international players in the world and us having the best players in the world, then it's the world championship. Shut up. It's not a world championship. There's some players. But the reality is a lot of players that are in these leagues, some of the elite players, they don't want to leave their countries because they like where they are. Not everybody wants to come to the USA and live an American life and the American lifestyle and totally leave behind their families and their culture. And a lot of the best players overseas and all over the world want to stay where they are. They ain't trying to come over to the States, so it doesn't necessarily have all of the best players. It probably has the most money. So some of the players want to come and get the money, and some of the players might be okay with like getting some extra fame. But a lot of the times they don't want to leave their country to come to the States. So we don't necessarily have all the best players. That's one of the big arguments. Not of the best international players either. So they was tripping, yo. The comments, let me see here. World champions of what? Yeah, people. I must say, a lot of people were, I don't know, I guess people didn't like Noah's delivery, how he said it. I'm okay with Noah's delivery. Noah is Noah, man. You know, he talks a certain way, he acts a certain way. That's Noah. You know Noah to just be who he is. I'm not really too concerned with how Noah says stuff. What I'm concerned with is the fact that he said it. And I like the fact that he said it, because if you're in that position, you got to say something. You got to have something to say. And that's what I like about Noah. He's got something to say. He always has something to say, and he'll say it. I'm not saying that he had to say it, but he said it. And what he said was the truth. All right? It's just what it is. Now, I'm getting tired of seeing these analysts and NBA players defend it, because there's nothing to defend. You're not a world champion. You're a champion, and I love the NBA. Yo, I'm in the UK. I'll stay up crazy hours to watch some games. Or I'll wake up the next morning and I'm going through all the stats. I run an NBA fantasy league for the past 10, 12 years. Like, I love NBA basketball. It's my favorite basketball in the world. It is my favorite basketball. It may have the best players in the world. I'm a strong believer that they are the best players. But anybody who's been to like Lifetime Fitness or a YMCA, they know you can have the best players on a team and go to the gym and get whooped on by some people who've been playing together for the past 10 years. And they might be bums. You break that team up, they might be bums, but together they're a formidable force. I'm not willing to say that the Denver Nuggets can go anywhere in the world and beat anybody. I'm not willing to say that. I would never bet. I wouldn't bet anything on that. And I'm not willing to say they're world champions based off that. We seen Noah go to the world championships, or any world champion, what have you, go to one place, the state championships. You know exactly what you got to do to win against everybody that's in the world at the championships, and you are the winner. Come true, Reggie.
You are live right now?
Yeah, we're live, Dad, but come around this way. Nethaneel Mitchell-Blake has just arrived, ladies and gentlemen. We're just talking about this whole Noah Lyles situation. This is not something for you.
Testing 1 3, we're gonna test 1 2. Turn me off my headphones. What's going on, people?
I fixed the headset situation.
Oh, lit. Apologies for the tardiness.
If our directors need to get in touch with you, you're good. But pick up the one named Nethaneel Mitchell-Blake. No, chill. You ain't allowed to touch that. Yo, you're new. This is the second episode now. You ain't supposed to push no buttons over there.
It got lit. I got to admit my grand entrance, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to everyone who's locked in. Post World Champs talk. Litty in the city. I thought it was a fantastic champs though. Quality wise, it was very, very high.
I wanted to wait for you to start talking about the actual championships.
All right, but drop me in. Where we at with it,
We're just talking about Noah versus the NBA, dog. What's
Noah versus everybody right now, man.
Yo, he wants the smoke though. I like this about this dude. He really doesn't care.
Nah, he doesn't, which is good though. Like, I feel that where he's at with it, We need to stop thinking so small-minded now. We're not trying to create enemies, but when's the last time the sport got this much traction?
Yo, it's been a really long time.
As far as on the Western Hemisphere now, we're talking like the Americas, where he's based, and arguably has probably one of the biggest spaces to help the sport grow, right? One of the biggest markets financially, at least.
USA?
Yeah?
Absolutely. 100%.
Like, he was on First Take. Have you mentioned that?
Yo, no, I didn't get to talk about that yet. But he was on First Take. Stephen A. Smith also.
Yeah. And he went off on, which is good. Like, don't get it twisted. These guys, it's their job, innit? So the fact that it's bringing traction to the sport, more eyes will then, gravitate towards to it. But I think it's good. I'm all for it, honestly.
Yo, 100%.
And he didn't lie. Like, on the back of that, I've seen a lot of people posting like quotations from other NBA, execs or coaches or managers, what have you, and they've echoed the same sentiment.
Popovich came out and said,
yeah, Greg Pop, one of the most respected coaches in the NBA. One of the winningest coaches in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So
straight, yo. So what else is there to say?
Nah, I'm all for it, man. He spoke facts to me. Like, don't look at it in a bad light. I feel that at this point in time, we're not going far left with the negativity attached to the sport, because it's not like anyone got done for anything. It's just that he's just polarizing. And at this point, any publicity is good publicity, especially on the back of the alleged Netflix documentary that's coming out next year. He's got his own Peacock documentary.
Yeah, dog.
So
have you watched it?
No, I haven't. Have you?
No, but I don't even know where to find that now. Yeah. I looked for it.
I'm gonna try to find it, but all eyes on the sport is good right now, man. And I feel like as other athletes too, whoever's tuned in, big up yourself. We need to like jump on that. Not bandwagon per se, but you can see that you can have a personality in the sport and you can go with it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, don't be scared of it. Like, I know it can be scary, but
I feel like more people needed to jump in though.
Yeah.
Where's Bolt?
Oh man,
Reggie, shouldn't Bolt be in the comments somewhere, dog?
Yeah. He needs to say, if Bolt says something,
Bolt needs to come and be like, look,
Bolt is the ultimate GOAT athlete of all time, right? Like, everybody knows Usain Bolt. He's synonymous with track and field and has been since his inception, since 2008. Obviously, world junior champion, what have you, back in Kingston, this, that, and the third. But nah, that's what we need right now. Bolt. We need Bolt.
Yo, everybody go into the comments and ESPN.
Just tag Bolt, man.
At Bolt.
Just tag Bolt.
Because I don't know where this guy is, yo.
Yeah, Bolt.
And that comment will blow up, Reggie.
Yeah, it'll reach new stratosphere.
I hope he says the right thing, though. But I'm saying it'll blow up, yo.
Yeah.
It'll blow up.
If Bolt co-signs it, or even just says something, towards it, like, yeah, where is Bolt, man?
Where's Bolt?
I don't know, man. He's probably chilling, man. Getting ready for Heroes Weekend in a couple of weeks.
Yes, man. I don't know. Bolt don't really seem like he care about track no more, dog.
I don't know. I'm not qualified to say that.
Me neither. But I'd love to just ask him, like, what do you, like...
How do you feel about this? Usain Bolt, I know someone's watching here who can get in contact with Usain St. Leo Bolt, the greatest athlete to ever grace our sport. Full credit to you. How do you feel about this? Because you were the last person to do the triple.
Yeah.
You've done it more than once, more than twice. You've done it 3 times.
3 times, yeah.
The 4th time was in 2011, but he false started. But shout out to Johan Blake for winning that same way.
That would have been 4.
That would have been 4. So he attempted the 4th, but everything happens for a reason, though, right?
Yeah.
But nah, shout out Bolt, man. Come on, join the chat, man. Join the chat.
Yeah. So, speaking of Noah.
Wait.
The black bag is, I'm saying
I can't lie, I have to be on good form tomorrow.
Come on, dad. You're lightweight. It's just some water.
H2O. It's important.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so let's see what's going on in the comments.
Hey, make sure you're liking in the comments and you know what I'm saying.
Hit the like button, yo.
Hit the like button.
Yeah, hit the like button.
Put your comments in there. What are they saying right now? Bolt busy living his best life. Ain't got time for that. Yeah, man.
I bet more money on the Nuggets beating every other team in other leagues, but until that day comes, they're just NBA champions. Big you up for that, DF.
Nah, like what you're saying is not wrong, right? The Nuggets can win every championship, but they're like, at the end of the day, they're not competing against other teams in different countries. No. Like, all right, let's for people in the UK or understand the Premier League, English Premier League, right? If you win the Premier League, you're graced the English Premier League champions, yeah? Albeit Man City did win the Champions League. Their team is comprised of international players, but they don't go and call themselves world champions. Like, that's disrespect to the Spanish league, the Chinese league.
100%.
Shout out to Dwight Howard and the Taiwanese league, if that's the word. You know what I'm saying? There's a bunch of other leagues out there. So
Even in Champions League,
yeah,
the
still
best
champions
teams-
of Europe.
exactly. They're not going to say world champion.
Nope.
And they have more reason to.
And they do.
And they won't.
Because it's a whole continent.
Yeah, so these cats are reaching, and I don't even see why. Yo, Regin, I don't even understand why they reacted like this. I was really surprised. I was like, yo,
I think
why is
part of
this
it is
guy like
ignorance, lack of education, because
Ouch.
I feel like Americans do live in their own bubble.
this? No, they do though.
Like I feel like 20% of you guys have passports. No shade.
That's another thing. It would be funny for this World Championship League.
Yeah.
You ask how many players actually have passports, dog, or have actually left the states. Not many. And yo, out of all
Miami doesn't count.
no, it doesn't. They think it does. Out of those 450 players, not every single one of them can go to an international league and make a team.
To be fair, they have to get passports. They have to fly to Canada.
They do,
Yeah, Canada's a different country.
but I don't know if you need a passport as an American to get into the USA. I think you just need your driver's license.
Nah, I think you need a passport.
Really?
Yeah.
So you, as a British person, are telling a Canadian person that you need a passport to get into Canada. I'm not saying I know, but it's just crazy that you would know and I wouldn't.
I think I heard it on a podcast. I don't know.
Was it a Canadian podcast?
No. But I think it was like an NBA player who said they needed to get a passport
Okay.
to go play the Raptors.
Yeah, you're probably right. You could be right.
Shout out the Raptors. Six.
Big up the Raptors every day, all day, kind of.
Get back to track, man.
Yeah, back to check. Before we move on to our next discussion, this right here, you're wondering? Oh, it's nothing. It's just heartbreak.run. Check this out, yo. You need your clothing. You need your equipment. You need your footwear. Oh, yeah. I'm talking about the Super shoes. You can get everything you need right here at heartbreak.run.
That's a whole segment too with the super shoes. Like, I'm being biased here. I feel like Adidas had a very good run at the World Champs.
So you think they did the thing?
I think
Okay, heartbreak.run. Yo, if
Go
you
get
want to
the
prevent the
Adidas piece.
heartbreak, head to heartbreak.run. Yo, so check this. The super shoes is a big conversation. Don't get Trayvon started on that shit. He's been going on about that shit for a while. But Adidas and New Balance seem to have made some moves shoes wise.
yeah. I'm just gonna talk about Adidas though.
Oh my bad.
This can't be an unbiased conversation.
My fault.
Shout out to this. Yeah.
Nethaneel Mitchell-Blake is an Adidas athlete, so I guess I'll be the only one talking about
Yeah.
other shoe companies. I can say the names, he can't.
Not
I can say New
interested.
Balance, and I can say Nike. I can say Puma.
I can say it.
He can say Adidas.
I'm not endorsing it at the slightest.
I don't want to get you in trouble, dog. So it's whatever. So anyways, Adidas did their thing.
I feel they did. They got the world champion the 1 in the 2. Who won? They got the world champion the 4 for men's.
They got the 110 meter hurdles.
103 Pete as well. They got 2 3-peats. That's special. That's talent, boy.
Damn.
Women's, they got the 4. Women's, did they get a medal in the 2? It was Sha'Carri, Gabby. They didn't.
No.
Nonetheless, we're not.
Nah, y'all own the sprints though. That's
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
That's a big deal, yo, because Adidas, Nike's been running it, yo. Haven't they? Oh yeah, I'm just saying. Nike's been running it up to this point. You know what I'm saying? It's just, but this year was good for Adidas. I agree, man. I agree. So check this out. Let's get into, since we're talking about Noah and Adidas, let's talk about this double, dog.
Is it a triple? Or is it a 2 1/4?
Okay, I gotta ask you a question. Is the win in the relay as sweet without Canada being there?
I mean, Canada wasn't even the final.
They weren't.
They're defending world champs.
Defending world champs, and Andre didn't run the heats.
Yeah, but we spoke about that.
We did.
Go watch the previous episode, guys. We did say that the 200-meter final would bear burden upon the Canadian team. And the thing is, right, Aaron Brown did make it, unfortunately, got disqualified. I think he would have made the final in time.
Yeah.
He went 20:08.
Something like that. He
It
was
was like in the heats, but 2010, I think he went in the semi, so he would have made it.
He was in.
So that would have been 2 year strike 4.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, you guys didn't make it. But so I think let's call it the triple, man. Let's call it Noah's triple.
All right, man. Noah's triple. We can support my one later, but Noah's triple. I didn't see it, man. I didn't see it, and he definitely battled through the doubts.
I feel like once he won the 100, I don't think there was any stopping him for the 2.
No.
I think confidence-wise, I believe his competitors would have been pretty like, all right, damn, he won the 1. And confidence is addictive, you know what I'm saying? And like, we spoke about that as well. Once again, watch the previous episode of the prediction show. And yeah, man.
It was, you know what? It was the semifinal in the 100 where I was like, whoa, okay. Yeah, this is gonna be a problem. I went on my Instagram stories right away, like, yo, what the fuck just happened? Yo?
But that could have gone one of 2 ways, I believe, right? But for him, I always saw it going the way it did. But go back to what Binsu done here, 2021, was it? In the Olympics. Binsu, he got to 60 and 6:29, fastest 60 ever recorded. I think he went 9:83 or 86. Please, excuse me if I'm wrong, but in that realm, PB'd. And he was gassed, you know, almost ripped his shirt off, done the Hulk Mania type shit, right? And he burst his bullet. But Noah now, that just spurred him on. And in the final, when you look at the data, he was there or thereabouts to 50. And a guy who has that skill set on the back end of his race.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like our other host has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. If we could have him come in. Brian?
Can we give him a round of applause? We need that button.
Pick up the one name.
But the business is, dog.
Pick up the one name. Got a little drink there, huh? You got a little...
That's some guava juice.
This a little, you know, carrot, cucumber, you know, a little bit of, you know, ginger. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep the body right. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah,
that's pretty healthy.
We still got business. You know what I'm saying? World Championship's over, so campaign 24 is on the way.
So you already started getting ready for that, huh?
Oh, got to.
Can we get you to tilt your camera down just a little bit, Trayvon, so we can just see you a little bit centered more in the camera? If you can do that, that'd be great.
It's gonna be a little tough because I changed.
It'll be tough.
I changed my
Okay, it's not bad. We get you
the
centered.
attachment for my camera that makes it tilted up and down. So I'm kind of right here right now, but yeah, you know.
Oh, we're live right now, Patrick. Sorry, it's all good. What's up, man?
BP, what do you do?
You don't look the same.
I don't look the same.
Our creative director here at the studio, man, it's just...
You wanted me up.
We're actually live. We're actually live right now, Patrick.
You're not lying.
We're definitely live.
We're
absolutely live. That's Trayvon Bromell, bronze medalist.
You can't do this to me.
He runs it over here, so he can do whatever he wants.
I ain't coming in shot.
No, you're not in chat. Sorry. But you're allowed to interrupt.
You look all different.
I appreciate that.
What's going on?
That's good, Trey.
Not much, man.
You're live. You're not live.
We're definitely live. We are definitely live.
We're live.
You're not live. Don't do this to me. You remember
That's all
when
good.
you're live?
No, I just wanted to make sure everything was all right, man. The building could have been on fire. I was like, hey, if it is, let me know so we can get up out of here. The show's important, not important.
Everything's cool.
Okay,
Keep
respect.
rolling.
Respect. Catch up with you tomorrow. Yeah, respect, Doc.
See, interruption. A bit of texture for the show.
Respect.
So, Trey, what's your thoughts on, would you call it the double or the triple by Noah Lyles?
I mean, it's the triple. I mean, we gotta call it that. He got 3 gold medals, so I mean, it's the triple.
And none of us had him medaling in the 100, right?
None of us. No.
We're dumbasses. We're far from experts. But
imagine saying he wasn't going to make the final. Imagine if someone said that. That'd have been nuts.
that's crazy.
Yes.
That's actually absurd.
If someone ever
I'm
said
glad
that.
there was no video evidence of anybody saying
Trust
such
me,
a
that'd be
ridiculous thing.
crazy if that ever was somewhere online. But yo,
Hey, I mean, he pulled it
before
off.
he did. Before we go on to our next topic, what do you give us a little thought of what you think about the whole NBA stuff with Noah right now?
Man, I see both sides. I see why people get mad. I see what Noah is also saying. I don't like, for me, I don't know how much Noah pay attention to basketball. I think when he said it, he felt like, okay, this is the right opportunity to say this about the concept of what a world champion is, which we know you going against the best of the best world head to head. But I don't think he also knows, like, yeah, the NBA is a league where all of the best players want to gravitate towards. Like, they want to go to the NBA. Like, and some people, you know, with track and field, we see many foreigners come through the high school system, college system, and go on to be pros where they've been in the United States for a while. Same for say baseball and stuff. Like, we know it's foreigners all over. But the NBA just happened to be stationary within the United States, but it still accumulates the best players all over. Like, it was funny because Charlamagne the God did the whole thing of donkey on the day on Noah.
Donkey of the
and
day.
He said that the last MVPs wasn't even Americans. So
Facts.
within the NBA, you have foreigners who plays the best players. Like I told somebody with Major League Baseball, they're probably more Dominicans and so on and so forth players in the Major League Baseball system than there are Americans. So, and there's the World Series. So I think the dynamic of what Noah was going with makes sense. But I think even what Charlamagne said, honestly, I don't think you should have wasted your time on that topic when this moment was for you. Like, I think that's the big thing that I got from it. Like, this was your opportunity to say, if you believe in God, you give God the glory. You give your coach, your family that love. Like, this is your platform. Like, you finally got the floor, and you used it to talk about another sport that's bigger than our sport, where we hope to one day get to. And now you kind of got the world of that sport turned their back on you.
Okay, let me just say one thing. The question that he was asked was basically how he feels like track and field could be bigger. So I think that triggered something as far as him knowing that the NBA is flossing this whole world championship or world champion term. And they're not. So I think that's why he said it. Mind you, you win a world championship, you can kind of say whatever you want. Like, this is what I want to talk about. Shit, this is.
No, for sure.
I feel like it should be as big, or if they're going to use that term, if they're marketing off that term, we should be able to market off that term too, because we're actually world champions.
But let me ask you this: is the problem? And I had this conversation the other day with someone. Is the problem the talent, or just the structure of the sport? Because we've been fast, we've been had the talent. It's just the structure of the sport. Just like we all know, if you make something big in America, it's going to be big all over. That's just what that's just the reality of it is. So I don't think it's the talent. So him going up there expressing this is the best in the world, people putting it all on the line. We as track athletes get that, but the general aspect of it is we know that the Olympics and track and field has been the long-lasting sports when it comes to it all as far as competition. We know that. We know our talent spoke for itself. I just think the marketing structure of it does not make sense, and it does not favor us. And that could be many things. Maybe we need to be on TV more. Maybe we need more celebrities to come to our event like they do the opening, like they do golf, tennis, basketball. Like, you see celebrities come to these sporting events all the time. When the last time we seen Drake, Kevin Hart, all these people pop up to a track meet? Like, in my opinion, that's what I be talking about.
Travis Scott was there last year at the World Champs, but
we know why though. We know why though.
Yeah. But Trey, for what you said, right? That was his moment to talk about himself, right? If he had spoken about himself and had let's say a pretty average post race interview, would he have got this?
No.
Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Udonis Haslem, who else?
Damian Lillard.
Dame Dollar Lillard.
Yeah.
We're talking Charlamagne the God. Like, all these athletes and professionals or media pundits, what have you, are now talking about track and field leading up to an Olympics. It can only bode well, because I kid you not, if he had not said this, our sport would have nothing would have happened on the back of a world champs. But it's actually kind of a bit of traction. Think about it.
So let me ask you this, because you brought up a good point, and somebody asked me the same thing. And my only rebuttal to that is, did it bring attention to track and field, or did it bring attention to him? Because did anybody else talk about Femke Bol? Did anybody else talk about Danielle Williams? They didn't. No. So we can't just say they talking about track. They're talking about Noah Lyles. So for him, it's good for him, because why? He got the Netflix, the Netflix stuff coming out next year. He got the stuff that's on Peacock right now. So for him, it is perfect. Marketing genius. But for the sport of track and field, what did it really do when the only thing that everybody talking about is Noah Lyles? So if you say marketing for him, perfect.
Yeah.
But for the sport,
Well, I would say that the attention that he's garnered is track and field attention. So whether it's now or whether it's down the line, people are going to be kind of aware of track and field, especially if he's at a competition. They're going to be like, let me see what this corny nigga Noah Lyles or whatever they think of him is doing. And they may catch another, you
validating my point though. Because when the situation with Shakiri happened, was people still watching track?
With Shakiri?
When the Shakiri stuff happened, when Shakiri exactly. So you about to prove my point. When Shakiri was on the scene and doing her thing, people were watching. When she didn't make a team, let me know which one of them celebrities tuned in to track and field.
Okay, but I'm saying people are still gonna watch if she's there. So it's more people watching
if
than
she's
not.
there. If she's there,
the other way, they wouldn't watch if she was there, and they wouldn't watch if she wasn't.
So what I'm saying is, they're going to watch it because they want to see what you just said. You said they're going to tune in to see what this kid do. Just the same way, whenever Sha'Carri stepped on the track, they wanted to see what Sha'Carri did. They didn't care about Trayvon, Marvin, Fred. They didn't care about Kenny Harrison or Femke Bowl. They cared about what Sha'Carri did, which is good for them.
What to care about? You can't tell people
no,
what
for
to
sure.
care about.
But I'm saying I'm bringing in just the facts of
stuff
it
and
all.
they might realize. Oh, I actually like this. I actually like that. I actually like this person. I actually like that person because they're gonna be.
But did you see that? Did you actually see that effect though? Did you see that effect? Because Sha'Carri's been on circuit for how long?
We don't have the numbers. We don't have the numbers. But in with Noah now, and like, it's not to like jock him or anything. I honestly believe his intentions is to try and grow the sport.
Yeah, I agree.
So
no, without a doubt.
One thing about Noah, he turns up. As far as like, if we have tiers of athletes, right? He probably races. He's raced a little bit less this year in particular, but typically Noah faces probably there's 8 200-meter diamond leagues. He's probably about at 6 of them, and he'll jump in about 200. Do you get what I'm saying? So he's one of the most raced athletes out there. So the fact that he's able to be at all these meets and he's always been fit and available, because we know the best ability is availability, right? And he's always present. If we get one more subscriber or one more person to tune in, that's one more fan, and it's like it's the rule of 3. They say it used to be a rule of 7. That's the rule of 3. One person knows at least 3 people. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So I think it can only be good, man. And it's our responsibility now. Now we have this traction to try and raise our game if you so choose to. As far as
now, see what you just said is key.
I agree.
Now, what you just said is key, and that's all that I'm trying to kind of gravitate towards. I don't want people to just sit here and think the structure of what he just said right now in the moment is just going to be beneficial right now for track and field, but it can be capitalized on. That's what I'm saying. Because right now, all we
have to strike now.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. When we talking about what did this do for track and field right now, it doesn't have any effect on track and field right now because the attention is on him. But what we do next is what's going to be the benefit or deficit to the situation. That's how I see it.
This is where World Athletic comes in, or whoever the powers that be come in, and they make use of this traction.
Yeah.
And this is where they bring in other athletes to then diversify the limelight. And you've got to do it strategically too. Yeah. Omanyala and Leslie Tobogo, they pretty much got African. Hassan runs for Netherlands, my apologies. The Mary, the Kenyan lady. You got to conquer each continent now, because each continent turned out that Filipino kid came second in the pole vault. You know, Femke Bowles killing it in Europe. Like, you got to play chess with this now. This is an opportunity. They should be rubbing their hands. And if they really want to help the sport grow, going into an Olympic year in Paris, and on the back of that, you got world champs in Japan, and then you got Olympics in LA, not too far away now. You got to start putting measures in place to make sure this, you know what I'm saying, this spreads.
I think they missed opportunities with Bolt. With Bolt for sure. Also with the DK Metcalf situation. Yeah. The crossover with that. They didn't know what to do with that. And also they missed opportunity with the traction that Sha'Carri got originally. So it's like now, like, what are you gonna do? Are they
They really fumbled it with the DK Metcalf situation though. That was huge. Because it was a topic of conversation.
He threw us an alley, man. He threw us an alley. We tipped it in when we said,
when you got the people on First Take and all those things talking about it, you got to capitalize off that because they're in a different element. They're not in track. You got, Stephen A and all them guys with basketball. You got Skip and Sharp and all them. You got the football aspect. When you got those people speaking about the sport, we gotta take heed and, like you said, strike when the iron's hot. It's different when us as track athletes talk about it all the time because we love it.
Yeah.
But when you got the other sports and the other commentators that's talking about other sports, the big five power sports, we got to make sure that this thing keeps getting spoken about. And I think that's what we got to do with this situation. Like when Shakiri backed up Noah, that's good. Like we need that type of backing. She has the limelight on her as well right now.
Fred
so having
done it
another
too.
voice, So having those voices, it helps. So I think it could be beneficial. It's just it all gonna
Hey
come
Trey,
down
you
to
got
how they're
Usain
gonna do
Bolt's
it.
number, man. Message Bolt and tell him to back this up,
holla at
man.
Bolt.
I know you got Bolt's number.
Bro, Bolt
I know you part of the. I know you got part of
Bolt
RS
Bolt
tree.
ain't doing nothing that he do not want to do, dog. He ain't gonna do what he don't want to do,
Apparently
man.
not.
I can't
He may
force
not want to
the
fuck a track no more.
I know. We can only ask.
I think it would be ideal.
But you know another thing too before we move on, and someone just said it in the comments, a hater is still a fan, right? The fact that the caliber of people responded to this, it means you remember, you don't have to like him, but they respect him because they felt the need to respond. It's just like if you're talking to somebody, right? And if you don't respond, you don't really care for them. But if you respond and you cuss them out, like, you know what I'm saying? When your coach stops talking to you, that's when you should be worried. That means you don't care. But if he cuts you out, it means he cares. So the fact that they felt a need to, come back with something, I definitely feel that there's a genuine interest. UD even said, yo, I respect what you do, but this is some bullshit.
Right.
Udonis Haslam knows who he is.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think we just got to find a positive throughout this. And as you said, like, make this not just about Noah Lyles, but try and make this about the sport on the whole, going into Paris.
Yeah. I think it's cool to bridge the gap, you know what I'm saying? Yo, for those who just got here, Sprint Culture Live, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share the live, let people know that we're talking about track, talking about what's going on in the world of track and how it crosses over into mainstream life. Just talking about the Noah Lyles situation. Yo, let's talk some Sha'Carri, man.
Only right.
Yes, sir.
Shakiri, she did her thing, dog.
Nah, she did.
Did you ever win it?
I can't remember, I definitely had a medal in.
Okay.
I think I had Sharika, Sha'Carri, and then Talu. And
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay.
let's go to the heat.
Let's go to the heat. So the swipe of the forehead thing was kind of like, okay, like I'm here. But I must say, after the heats, Shelly looked wow.
I think
And Sharika.
and I think Talu too.
And Talu. That's how a round is supposed to be.
top
It's supposed to be like,
four.
oh shit, everybody's
Yeah.
looking nice. That's
You
how it
went
was.
sub like that. It's the effort in which they went sub, right? Then go into the semi now. I got a bit nervous.
Yeah, you know what?
There was a full start, right? And then she slept, was it?
Yeah, there was a couple of false starts actually.
You hear some background noise?
Yeah, so she sat, but the way she moved in the latter part of the race, it was there. But she wasn't going to be able to get away with a start like that in the final. Before the race, me and Jade were talking, we went live or whatever, and she was like, you know what, I feel like lane 9 is going to be good for her because it's like she gets to just, she's not ready to be in that heat right now. Remember you were like, yo, it's her first major championships? First major championships, you're not really in the heat, so you kind of focus here on your own lane and then just focus on what you have to do. When they introduced her, I don't know if you saw how they introduced people that came out by themselves through the pathway. She was on the track by herself for about, let's say, a minute. So it was only her. They call lane 9 first. I think when she got out there, she just got to get set, look at her lane, establish herself, know where she was at, and just realize that this is. I've been feeling like a nomad this whole time. This is fitting. I'm out here by myself, and I just got to focus on this one lane and just keep doing what I'm doing. And she did that, yo. So. She was right with that analysis. Lane 9 worked out better for her, yo.
Hey Trey, you think lane 9 helped her?
Yes. So I had her winning. I had her winning regardless. I thought she was gonna go out there and do what she did. When she got in the semis, I seen that exact situation happening. I was like, she's been in races with starters, but this will be kind of the test of being by somebody like a Talu who pretty arguably has a great start just like Shelly. But like Anson said, when I seen her top end, I said she gonna be okay. And then when I seen the start list and she had lane 9, I said she wins. I said because now and now just speaking from my own senses from 2022, I couldn't see Marv and Fred. Only thing I was able to see was Coleman. So for me, I only felt like I was racing against one person the whole race. But for her, she was already out enough next to her competitor to know, okay, I didn't kind of separated from them. And now it's just free range of just racing, just running. And she was just free as a bird. And one thing I've seen with Sha'Carri's racing, bro, when she knows she's a threat, that 40 meters to 100 is deadly, dog. Like, I don't know what I seen in the semis, her turnover from like 40 to 60 wasn't there just yet. It was building up. But in the final, it was like, she stood up and it was like, let's go. And it was like, the jets came on. I was like, oh my God, she is rolling. And when I seen the time, I had already picked her to run that time. I was like, when I seen she was in lane 9, I said she's running 10:65. When she crossed that line, I was like,
oh, give me the lottery numbers, man. You're predicting the future,
bruh,
man. Give me the lottery.
Bruh. When I'm telling you, soon as I seen that semi and I seen that she was third going into it, I had already picked the place and the time. Mentally, I didn't I told coach. I told coach she would be on with Random. But outside of that, bro, I literally was like, she's gonna win and she's gonna run this time, dog.
Yeah.
Like I already knew it. Just cause like, bro, it was already building up to it, bro. It was already building up for it to be for us, dog. And when she got that outside lane,
demeanor kind of changed though.
What do you mean afterwards?
So in the heats, like she was very Sha'Carri-esque, you know.
Shakiri.
Yeah, like it's almost like a verb now, you feel me? But like flamboyant, she's a show woman, you know, plays to the crowd. But after the semi, I feel like she was a bit within herself, a bit more militant. She wasn't showboating. Like, I think for one, she respected her competitors a bit more. And two, she probably didn't want that extra target on her back. I feel like she calmed down a bit. You know, she was a bit more serious. Right. Like she wasn't celebrating, you know, she done a cross look to the sky and said, let's handle business. But prior, like, you know, US Charge took the wig off. But you just never know what you're going to get with her. Right. But wherever she did, it worked, right?
Yeah.
10:65 out of lane 9. And the thing is, right, Trey, so World Champs 2022 last year, you were in a similar position as you said, right?
That's right.
Yeah. And the race was very, very close at that. Did you know what you finished when you passed the line?
No. So if you watch the
Sha'Carri
race,
knew
I
she won.
started looking over.
That was madness.
Yeah.
You thought you won, right?
I didn't know
you
where I
won.
was. No, bro, I didn't know where I was in the race. I didn't know where I was.
That's what I'm saying. Sha'Carri had
like literally, like I don't know how she knew.
That's nuts.
I don't know how she knew.
How do you know when you're on the periph, lane 9, and then obviously Sharika and that's crazy, man.
Yeah, especially against that type of competition. Like
you can't take it. But she celebrated before the line. Not that much before, but it was still before the line, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Bro, when it comes to that type of situation,
right now.
When it comes to like how Sha'Carri went into that line, I still think it play a big factor because it's like, what would the time been if she leaned?
63.
She kind of leaned back.
63.
Yeah.
Like how much you have?
That's what I was trying to. That's what I was trying to get to. Like when she celebrated, it was almost like a this. So it's like, and I'm not, you know, we all ran before. We know it doesn't make that much of a difference. But doing a this compared to a this is a big difference when it comes to those small seconds.
Yeah.
But the confidence to premeditate that as well. Because if you celebrate, it's premeditated. As quick as a thought as it may be.
For sure.
What are they saying?
For sure.
Real Talk, who has spoken to her a bunch of times during the championship, said that she didn't know. She just felt like she executed her race. So it was more like,
and you know what?
You know, like when you hit a home run, dog, you just know from the contact, it's gone. It's one of those.
Do you know what? If anybody else said that, I'd be like, but Sha'Carri, I believe it.
Believe it.
You know? Am I saying that? Is it Sha'Carri or Sha'Carri?
It's Sha'Carri.
Apologies, Sha'Carri.
Yeah. It's tough to know, though. Like, in a situation like that, it is tough to know. But it's just crazy because I'm like, how she celebrated, you would have thought she knew.
Yeah.
Because in the final that's that close, I'm not celebrating, dog. Like, that's...
Imagine she lost it on the line.
Yeah, that would have been nuts. What are these comments saying? Ryan Benjamin is
one of the comments,
we'll get to that.
I wanted to bring this up. Make sure I'm not tripping. Do y'all feel like Talu is a decent starter? Because I feel like you got what's his name? Actual Random felt like I was disrespecting Shelly by saying Talu, you know, was arguably one of the, in my opinion, one of the top starters. Like we all know Shelly is Mommy Rocket, but like Talu get out the blocks. But you know, I'm just making sure I wasn't tripping. You know what I'm saying?
can't at that level.
She is.
You have to call her a good starter because one, she is. But let's say Shelly's the best, for example. To say that she's one of the best is not far fetched.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's like
One of the best, of course.
it's like all right, yourself, Trey. You're one of the best starters. Coleman's one of the best starters. But then people look at Fred and think, oh, he's 6'3", he's a big guy. Fred's also a very good starter
Get out,
too.
yeah.
Like, don't ever get it twisted.
Yeah.
Like, just because of the metrics or the stature may not look like the stereotypical, he's got more of a, hate to say it, more of a Safa build.
Right.
But he's still getting out there.
Right. Speaking of Talu, that was tough. She didn't handle that well.
You don't think?
She was apparently emotional afterwards about her
Yeah, you got to be,
fourth
man.
place finish.
It's that's
This man said comparing Talu to Shelly is like comparing Coleman to Noah.
At the blocks?
no. That's a nah.
That's a reach.
And not championship Noah. Noah's not semifinal and final Noah. Because he got out. Brian, your mic is on, man. Yeah. We're talking about semifinal and final Noah. Nah, he's getting out the blocks, yo. He's getting out. So, Talu gets out, yo. She gets out. It was just too much heat, yo.
Yeah.
And I think she knew it. I think she knew that, like, okay, I can get a medal, but who will I beat?
Yeah.
Which of those three are you going to beat?
And you say to yourself, Elaine's not there, right? It's my time to shine. And
Yo, what do you think
Wait,
about...
what was Shelly time in the final?
she came third, right? Was it 80?
Yeah.
Did she run 80?
What, 77?
Let me check it out right now.
No, I don't think it was 77 because I think Sharika ran 79, no?
No, I thought Sharika ran 71. I think it was 77. Yeah, 1077. Yeah. Someone in the chat said 77.
Oh, no, she tied. I think she
Ooh,
tied for 79. No, she didn't tie.
No, she ran 77. She ran 77.
Yeah, we need to
It was
find that out.
65,
77.
71, and 77. So
Yeah,
damn.
77 is all in
What's
the chat.
Talu PB? 75?
Earlier this year, yeah.
She ran the record. Was it in Monaco?
So think about it, bro. She would have had the PB just to
Sharika
beat
72.
Shelly, dog. She would have probably had to equal her PB just to beat Shelly. That's a
tall ask, man. It's a tall ask.
But she was looking good though throughout the season, though.
She
dog.
did, man. She did, but there's not much you could do. This is too much heat. That's a tough one, yo. But maybe with the one named Mary Jose Talu.
Yeah,
Sharika,
sweet girl though. She cool people.
She seemed like it. So Sharika got a silver in the deuce. Some people may have been surprised at that. I wasn't.
Sharika got a
Let me say
silver.
something else.
You
Let me
mean
say
Gabby?
something else.
In the one.
Gabby.
Wait, what are we
No,
talking about?
Sharika got a silver in the 100. I mean.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
another thing is, like, okay, there wasn't many people who really thought Sha'Carri was going to win, right? But there were some people who really did not want her to win.
Who Shakiri?
Yeah. Where when she won, they were actually very, very upset. I felt like she was going to win. I've been saying that for a while. But when I wasn't rubbing it in people's faces afterwards because I really felt like it hurt people, yo. I didn't even mention it because in my mind, it's like there's a real deep animosity towards her winning. And it really, really irked some people, yo. So I didn't even bother rubbing it in people's faces, yo. Because it's like, it's deeper for some reason.
That's weird.
Isn't it?
That's weird. Like, she's been through a lot, and the talent's always been there. And at the end of the day, she ran a championship record. She performed when it matters most. She's what, 23?
23, dog.
So the future of sprinting looks bright, man. Like, we got Shelley and Fraser Price, who I believe is 36 now. What she's doing is phenomenal. Like,
Yeah.
and then we got Sha'Carri now, who you believe can hold the mantle. She looks like she has what it takes. So
Well, let's skip ahead to something I was gonna bring up a second ago or later on in the show. Is Shelly on the decline now?
no, you can't say that.
No, I'm asking. I'm asking.
She's on such a high mountain, right? It's her first bronze medal too. Imagine that. Imagine that's your first bronze medal. Like, her medal collection is absolutely ridiculous. With her, you just got to give her grace. Well, I think when you're that special and achieve so much, just have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah. For her to run that well after not really running, I think
That's probably our 5th race of the year. She opened up in Spain, then went to Lausanne.
I thought it was 3. I thought she did 1.
Was it 3?
What, she did 2. I thought she did 200. Then she
Spain, Lausanne, and Trials.
Spain,
Lausanne, and Trials.
Yeah,
So it's our 4th race.
Yeah.
So now, this the question then. What is it gonna be like when obviously we know she dealing with the whole knee injury? She gets time to recover and then going to the Olympics with this kind of chip on her shoulder. And we know this gonna be like her last hurrah. I think it's gonna be good.
She might do a Merlin Otti. She might keep going. I don't know.
You think?
Hey,
this will be her last
this-
Olympics. No, this is her last one.
Yeah.
Hey, yo,
I think
if
this
she
gonna be a
won
good
this
one, dog.
Worlds, if she won this Worlds, she would have retired.
She would have retired. For
I
sure.
think she would have retired. But now she got to drive to go to Paris. I think that, but it's not only her you got to think about. You got to think about Elaine too.
Yeah.
Elaine, I saw an interview where she was like, "Yo, you guys know what I do when I'm healthy, so that's all I got to say."
She's gonna be at Pre, right? And she's changed. She changed coach again.
Yeah.
She's left her husband. I believe she's an extension of who was Stephen Francis in the camp or something of that ilk.
I think they'll make up, man. Eventually.
I think it's within both parties' best interest to make up.
There you go.
The water's touching me.
Got it out. There you go. You got it. Just a little patience. But yeah, imagine she got back with Frano, like they made up. And like, say like March, you see Frano and Elaine reunite.
Yeah, but will Sharika like that?
Why not?
Because Shelly's with man like Top Chef, journalist. Shout out to my name, journalist. That's her coach.
For real?
Ronaldo Walcott, Rashid Broadbell, Stacey Ann Williams.
Okay.
They actually trained at my old high school. Shout out JC. And then you got Sharika, man like Stephen Francis Frano, MVP. And then you had Elaine, who kind of parted ways.
Right.
That's like the triangle of sprint queens in the country right now, right? But can 2 hens be in one? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Because they're both at the top of the top.
yeah, they're like up there.
And they're both, I don't know what they are like. I don't know them that well, but
So if you're Frano, right, and say you have both of them, Trey, let me hear what you say about this. If you have both of them, who would you kind of give preferential treatment to out of those two?
That's tough, bro. That's tough.
loyalty's everything, man.
He said it's tough.
Because
Who you-
Sharika has showed dominance in this past few years. Not saying Elaine hasn't. We know what Elaine do when it come around the Olympics. But dog, Elaine has been the closest to breaking any, like outside of the 200. Obviously, we know Sharika did what she did in the 200. But Elaine's body stature and mechanics, bro, is so beautiful and damn
nasty.
near perfect. If you coach her to that level, bro, she could be the one. Like, bro, that 1050, like that 10.5 still plays in my head, bro. Like, it's scary to see how, like, she just boom, boom. It's no wasted movement, bro. What other athlete besides someone like Shakiri has that? And let's remember, Elaine is a little bit taller, so it's kind. I ain't gonna say it's just easier, but she just gonna cover. That's tough, bro. Cause Sharika is a beast too. So it's like you gonna be at practice, like who do I put more into?
They might have to train at separate times.
Maybe.
That'd
be a tough one, yeah.
Because who does Elaine train with right now? I don't know.
She seems like she needs a lot of
and
attention.
then I believe Sharika, she train with Natasha Morrison, I believe.
Yo, I don't know.
I believe that's in the comments. Let me know. But
Yeah, let us know.
I think Elaine can train by herself, just train with Frano. But then I don't know, man. But it's undeniable that it's going to be something special happening next year. I think everyone's already motivated for next year.
100%. Real Talk said Elaine's running in Zurich this week, so that's a big race.
Wait, isn't that on Friday?
That's Friday. No,
Like-
Thursday.
Wow.
That's Thursday.
Wow.
Thursday. Wait. Today's 29th. Yeah, it's Thursday. So Elaine's running.
Shout out to all the athletes that are going
Shelly's
to a
running.
competition right
Sharika's
away,
running.
man. Because emotionally, I know it's a lot.
Yeah, that must be tough, yo. Fireheart says Sharika trains with Stefan's brother, Paul Francis.
Steven's brother, Paul.
Steven's brother. Paul Francis. Paul's the one I know. I'm cool with. Paul introduced me to Frano when I went to London Diamond League. I never met Frano before. I was like, yo, introduce me to your brother.
Yeah, Frano's like a myth, right?
Yeah, dog.
Yeah.
Yo, I was fanboying still. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, yo, Bridget, I rate you, dog. So just so you know,
but
like,
you know what it is? I think it's important that they hear that because they probably don't.
Yeah, probably.
And he probably said nothing by it, but you know, at the end of the day, it means a lot.
Yeah. No, I had to tell him straight.
I'm about to say, Anson, you ever been around Frano like that?
Only his brother. I used to be around his brother a lot.
Yeah, I don't feel like
he came together a lot.
He came to Jacksonville for a track meet, bro. He cool, dog.
He's mad cool.
Stephen Francis traveled to America.
Dog,
Yeah.
it blew out, bro. Him and his brother, I remember me and Marvin was doing starts, and we seen him. We was like, "What Frano doing here?" But that's the thing, like he move on the low. I was like, all right. I walked past him like, "What's good, coach?" He's like, what's good? You know what I'm saying? Like, gave me a little fist bump. I'm like, all right, like, you know, OG in this thing. You feel me? Like, he cool though.
Yeah,
him and his brother.
Yeah.
It's crazy because like I could speak for Stephen Francis at competitions. He's not that hands-on. Like the work's already been done. He just delegates.
Yeah.
He's got his little walkie-talkie and he's just sitting down in his chair. You don't even see him move like that. Yeah. Whereas the American coaches...
At Eugene, he was like that. He had his like little piece on. He'd be sitting on the ground just like, hey, I need them to do this. And just sit back. Chilling. I said, man.
Yeah. Harvey Williams said Natasha Morrison and Anthony Strachan train.
With who?
With Frano.
Wow. It's all MVP though. It's all like UTEC.
Yeah. So, yeah, they got some names there, yo.
Yeah.
New viewers, go ahead and hit that like button before I turn the chat off. Mess around with me, turn the chat off
come on. We got a target. Let's get to 200 likes, man.
Yeah, hit that. So check this out. Sharika, speaking of Sharika, yo, I swear when she crossed the line in that 200, I swear it said 20 point, yo. I swear it said 20 point. I was like, yo, that was nasty. Me too.
I thought the record was gone, dog.
What is the record? 21:39 or 38?
32.
32.
32. I thought it was 34.
Flojo.
On my tripping.
It's Flojo.
34.
Flojo, right?
34. Flojo, yeah. That's breakable.
The way she done it there, yeah.
The times weren't really that fast in Budapest. That was one of the fast times. And what else was? Oh, the 1065 was fast, obviously. But there wasn't really no fast times.
Since we on this topic, and I'm not gonna say they gonna run there or not, but in hindsight, we got Prefontaine at the end of the year. What is the possibility with a nice little gust of wind to the back?
Little 1.8, crosswind.
Do we see one of those records go down, dog?
World record?
Do we see one of them go down?
I'll say this: the times were not fast in Budapest,
and it was all in the headwinds, bro.
10.65.
Headwinds. It was all headwinds. It was mainly headwinds. No, it was a lot of like minus 0.4, minus 0.8, minus 1.2, like stuff around there. Some zeros.
Yeah. No
tailwinds. I rarely saw a tailwind. The biggest tailwind I saw, and it only stands out in my mind, was 0.4. So it was mostly headwinds. So could it be broken at pre as well?
21:34. Yeah, that's the record.
Yeah. That's
of course it can. Do you know what it is? So Sharika Jackson on Instagram, she posted a picture with a straight face, and I think had the timer emoji. So she's going for that record. Like when you saw post race, Gabby Thomas had her hands over her mouth because she couldn't believe how fast the race was, right? And then Sharika was just like in time or something like that. So she's not only running to win, she's running for that record. And as you said, if there's any facility in the world, it's definitely pre. Especially, it's definitely pre, And I know Stephen Francis can probably get her right for it.
Hey.
What did Elaine run in what was the Olympics? Yeah. What did she run in the Olympics and then went to pre and ran? I know it was the week after.
She ran 61. She ran 61 at the Olympics and ran 54 at pre.
What was the wind at pre? Like, do we know what the wind gauge was?
I don't remember.
It was legal.
It was tailwind.
That's all that matters. It was legal.
It was a tail.
Because I'm just trying to
Shakiri
think.
might have a chance, yo.
Yeah, but once again, it's like setting for the perfect race, right? Like bro, that was
Yeah.
I'm gonna go because I don't want to stick too much on that lane race because that shit I could talk about all day.
No, that was nasty. No. That race was absolutely disgusting.
10-5.
Hey, yo, and that's another thing. Like that whole build up between Shakiri and the Jamaicans, and then she ran 10-5. I remember specifically right after that race, probably like 10 seconds afterwards, they went like straight to the 800 meters or something else, whatever was afterwards. They didn't even like talk about what the fuck just happened.
What race?
When Elaine ran that 10:54, the broadcast is kind of like 10:54. Wow. All right, now on to the 800 meters. Blah 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 blah.
See, we're killing our own sport, man.
I'm not killing. I'm just saying, like, we're just giving.
Not us. I'm not saying us. I'm saying in that moment they had the opportunity
100%.
to, like, when you watch Spanish football, goals, goal, bro. You say, Messi, goal. Oh, you know Messi.
Yo,
it should be Elaine, Thompson.
Hell yeah. Wins should be like goals.
Fastest time. You know, like, it's man. Do you know what, man? Don't worry. Our time's coming.
Wins should be like goals, dog, or like touchdowns.
Don't worry, we're gonna be live streaming for these meets come soon, and we're gonna bring the energy.
Respect. Yeah, I think it's a good idea, yo. But yo, check this out. Speaking of Shakiri, there was a moment that that Jade caught on camera of her walking by all the journalists after 100 meters, saying no, thank you, no, thank you, no, thank you. If you've seen that video,
no, I ain't seen it. I heard about it though.
Mentioned it got like, it might be at like 13 million views right now on our page. But it blew up because people are like, yo, why was she just walking by all the media? But really, she was trying to make it very clear that, yo, there's certain outlets I'm talking to and there's certain outlets that I'm not. Because, you know, a lot of media have tarnished her name. And a lot of media has doesn't really get a chance to have athletes like her speak to them. So she was going mainly to the black outlets, yo. She passed everybody and stopped right at this Jamaican outlet and spoke right there. Went downstairs, talked to Real Talk, so she made it clear that, you know, I believe that certain people look at me in a certain light, and that's the light that I want shown out to everybody. Now, tell me what you think about this. Do you feel like athletes should talk to everybody, or do you feel like they should have the choice to talk to who they want to?
It's individualized, right? I feel like talk to who you want to.
I agree. If they ain't paying you,
they're not. It's free publicity for them and free publicity for you. And if you want to control your narrative to whom you ever choose to, pick your poison.
I look at it like this. Look, if they're paying athletes, like if there's a salary and you're getting paid based off of your media obligations, okay, make sure you talk to the media. But aside from that, shit, just they ain't like that. So I'm gonna talk to who I want to talk to.
Because the only obligation you have to is after a medal, right? When you're at the medal table where the media's there,
right?
In a forum,
press conference.
Yeah,
right.
In a press conference.
Yeah.
Other than that, she might have instructions from her coach, or who knows what it may be. But at the end of the day, she said she's not obliged to do anything she doesn't want to do, right?
No.
And I'm sure she's fine with that.
Yeah. What do you think, Trey?
No, I mean y'all hit it on the head with it because it's crazy. Like when you, oh my god, when you get a medal, right? Everybody want to talk to you when you get a medal, but when you don't, they just gonna look at you while you walk past. So it's one of them things. Like I said, if you obligated to do it because you're getting some finances, I think talk to the people. Obviously, you know NBC plays a big role with USA Track and Field, so they want you to stop at the NBC mic and speak to the people. But outside of that, like I don't think she should have got bashed or any tarnish to her name should come about her not wanting to speak to the journalists. At the end of the day, too, like I want to say she addressed this. I could be wrong, so don't quote me. But the same people that tore her down, now they want to have her on their platform. Like, nah.
100%.
Like, nah. You use your platform to talk all this, about me, say all this, probably put out news that may have been personal or, so on and so forth. And now, at my highest moment, I achieved what I always wanted to do. Now you want to bandwagon? No, I'm good. I'll talk to the people who stayed by my side, or I at least feel comfortable with talking to. So that's how I stand by how she handled it.
I agree. I think she has that right, yo. Check this out. The wind on Elaine's 1054 was 0.9. Few of viewers have said that. Also, let's talk about this. How does Sha'Carri's 1065 compare to Noah's 983?
They both got the win, but no, Trey, you speak on this as the 100 specialist. What's your thoughts?
Depending on the question you're asking. Like if we talking about
so
speed.
What's your general thoughts on it? Like 1065 as a woman, Sha'Carri winning 100 and 983.
Let me lay a bit of background of where I'm coming at from this question. I just feel like Shakiri, aside from Elaine not being there, beat some. She grabbed some scalps. You know what I'm saying? There's some big names in that race. There's the defending silver medalist and there's the defending world champion. She beat them. I just feel like there's a lot of people. Noah did what he had to do. Don't get me wrong, but there was a lot of people missing. It's out of his control. That has nothing to do with him. He did what he had to do and he won. But I'm just saying, just the win isn't the same. I can't give him the same kind of credit for the win just because he didn't beat the defending silver, bronze, and gold medalist. He didn't beat the defending Olympic champion. It was just out of his control, but it just didn't happen.
But in his defense, the defending gold, silver, and bronze medalist won in the final. He couldn't beat who's in front of him.
It's not his fault.
And as the comments said, Sha'Carri had a championship record.
Shakiri.
So they're both impressive, but what Sha'Carri did is just over the edge.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, this shit touches me. I didn't eat lunch.
Out of respect, what both of them did was still great. Obviously, Noah went out there, got the championship title in 100 with a PB. So I think if you can PB and you grab that medal, kudos. Like, I think you should pat yourself on the back.
And he stepped down.
Stepped down.
And he stepped down in the event.
He did.
So in that, I don't know about how much I can agree to that because he ran. He did have a 986. But that's a whole other conversation. I see where you trying to go at that one, but I ain't gonna give that too much. But he did.
Nice.
He still coded the one, right?
Nice. No. Yeah, he because the same thing with Norman. Like, when that's another topic. He ran fast in 100 too. But in the sense of what Noah did, he PB'd and he got a title. And it wasn't, even though you didn't have me, Marv, or Fred in those races, he still ran against some tough competition. Like, you still had Coleman, who was 2019, obviously world champ, and shoot, he's the world record holding the 60, so it takes a lot to go get him. You had the likes of Arnell Hughes, who has top end speed just like anybody else in that field. All those guys, they top performers. The only reason I think I would give Sha'Carri more of the light of her performance is because where those times going to those titles place them. Where does 1065 place on the all times list? Number 5, number 4. Where does 83 put Noah? 16.
Right.
Like,
no, it's higher.
Like, so that's what I'm saying. So it's like it's hard. I think it's hard to get on both lists, but for Noah to get into that top 5 list, he has to go 77 or below, because you got me, Coleman, and Fred at 6. So for him to dump into that top 5, like Shakiri just jumped into that top 5, he has to dip under 70, 75.
Right.
So
yeah, I agree.
If you ask me which one was more impressive, I'll say Shakiri, because under the lights, like you said, we just missing Elaine. She ran 1065 into a headwind against a strong competition, likely somebody that many people thought wasn't going to lose, who was going to probably pull off the double in Sharika. So I would say Shakiri has to take that one, but both performances, they both did what they needed to do at a high level to obtain that win. They both ran PBs to get the goal. And I think you kind of got to look at them as the same. But if you ask me, obviously Shakiri has slight leverage just because she cracked into the top 5 all time.
Right. Okay.
I agree with Trey.
Agree? Yeah.
Well said.
Okay. Coach PE with Coach Long said he wants my sweatshirt. Get my sweatshirt now.
That's actually tough though. I'm not gonna feel it, but
wicked, right?
Yeah, it's dope. Little textures and shit.
I don't want you to feel it either, but it is. These are going for £1,000, by the way. No, look at the detail though.
Yeah. It's like a 1-of-1 right now, isn't it?
She made this.
Like handmade?
She cut out all the...
Shout out to the one named Jade.
No, it's like, this is list £1,000. We can negotiate, but that's where we're starting. It's £1,000. Okay, actual random said Shakiri got a championship record, so that's why he feels like it was a bigger performance. That's number 5 all time. Yes. Okay. Now, before we log off, we gotta talk about these 4x1s. Matter of fact, let's talk. We could talk about the 4 hurdles real quick. Look, I saw Rye in his semifinal, and I really thought he had a chance, right? But once he got into the final, he totally threw his race plan out the window and tried to run with Karsten in the beginning of the race, and everything went out the window. Felix Sanchez came on our show and said, look, if you're going to beat Karsten Warholm, you have to go with him in the beginning. You have to.
But Wright tried that.
But you have to prepare for that. That was a key point. He says you have to prepare for that, though. You can't just go and do it at a championship, which is exactly what he did. There's a certain pattern, but then went to the championships and tried to run with Karsten. You're not going to do that. You have to prepare every practice like, yo, I'm gunning it. He's not a gun it type of guy. I saw him run a 4x4. Yo, his stride pattern, he might be able to do something in the 400, yo.
When he split 44 flat.
Yo, imagine, if he ran an open 4, I mean, it's kind of wide open right now. He could do something in that open 4. Karsten has a strength.
Nah, but I feel like Wright takes this battle personally, man.
I think so too.
Do you know, like, he didn't. One thing I give so much credit to Wright for, right? And speak on it if you agree with me, Trey, or not for that fact. He didn't run. He ran to win. He didn't run for like silver or bronze. He ran to win. He went for the win, and he got the bronze.
Yeah.
Like, he could have run for silver.
He could have easily done that. Yeah.
But he said, nah, I'm beating this guy. And he takes it personally.
Right.
Like, I've never seen someone so upset with a silver medal, a bronze medal. Like, he was like, man, because he went for the win. He went for the win. And I know it hasn't been a clean team, and he's missed a couple meets, and I'm assuming it's due to injury. So, but once again, no one really has a clean run, but it's just another battle. You know what it reminds me of? Tennis. It's like Djokovic, Nadal, and Federer. And then they're just all so great, right? You can say Santos, Ryan, Karsten Warholm, those three there, they're just juggernauts. And then, full credit to man like Karen McMasters.
Big up the one named Karen McMaster, yo.
You know what I'm saying? And
big him up, yo.
No one really had him getting a medal because they had the top 3
He's always been there, dog.
He's always been there. And
finally got true, yo.
I feel like sports in a really healthy place, man. I just really hope that the love that we will have for it is able to just transmit it to the general population and see how lit this shit really is.
Yeah, 100%.
Because we got competitions everywhere. Like, we got South America, we got the Caribbean, we got Europe, and then North America, all in one race, battling for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's the Qatari hurdler Samba? If Samba comes back, we got the Middle East back in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he comes back in the mix, per se. So.
Femke had her way in the women's 4 hurdles, so expected.
Yeah, that was
the medal won without Sydney, so it's going to be viewed.
Yeah, and I think she's probably more upset about falling in the mixed relay.
That was madness.
Than she is happy about winning the gold.
That was crazy, dog.
What do you think about that, Trey, when she fell in the mixed relay? Was it Alexis Holmes?
Yeah, she was rolling though.
She went 48 something, and then unfortunately she ran out of the zone for the 4x4.
4x4. So she balanced her championships. Both of them balanced her championships.
Yeah.
Out. So Femke dropped, but then in the 4x4 final, she came through, and then Alexis Holmes made Femke drop, but then in the heats, kind of balanced her shit out and messed up, disqualified them.
Sports so unforgiving, man.
Crazy,
one
man.
shot.
You can't stay happy for
Imagine
too long.
being on that high, and USA is pretty much a sure bet to get a medal, if not challenge for the gold, right?
That's tough. Okay, we gotta talk sprint hurdles too, yo. Yo, that women's sprint hurdles was the deepest women's sprint.
Shout out to Danielle Williams. Shout out to her.
Won it with a 12-4, baby. I thought you were over 12-4s now.
She won it in 2015. Bounced back 2023 and comes and winner. She's always been competitive. Always. Humble to a detriment almost, because you overlook her at times. But her competitors know what she's capable of doing. She's a 2-time world champ.
Yeah.
In one of the deepest events. I think the 100 meter hurdles women's has been the deepest event consistently 100%. In our sport. Yeah. Like, for the longest amount of time, it's been the deepest event.
Mm-hmm. Nia got out though.
Did she?
She smashed a hurdle, but she went for it, yo. I mean, I guess when you win one.
Olympic champ, world record holder, second fastest time of all time, world champ. Like, that field there, if you look at their resumes, crazy.
And then 12-4 won it. But still, like, that's just track and field, yo. Certain. It's about the win, really. The clock, you know what I'm saying? The clock does what it does, but for her to win in that field, that was impressive, yo. Grant got another one. 3 of them. Y'all see he didn't do his new phone celebration, right? Because he was doing this before. But I told him that that's an old school phone. So he did this now.
Sometimes you gotta go old school, dog.
I agree. I had one of them flip phones too, dog. I'm saying, you gotta get up at the times,
that's still the burner phone. You feel me? The burner phone, the one you make them calls on. You know what
true.
I'm saying?
It's very, very true.
You don't make the calls on
bad.
this. You go get
It's
that.
true.
You go get
It's
that
true.
burner. You feel me? With
That's
the minute
very, very
phone,
true.
you go.
It's very, very true.
Trey, speak to me on this. How would you feel if did Rashid Bromell have the fastest time in the world this year?
He did.
Like, how do you feel if the guy with the fastest time in the world that year is not present? And the year before, the man who is the Olympic champion isn't present? Like, Grant just finds a way, but the field is never... And once again, track and field is not linear. We never know what's going to happen, right? But you get where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Like, Bromell
For
crashed
Grant,
out in the heats.
Yeah.
Dog, if
And that's what we wanted to see, man.
We wanted to see that
if I can
flash.
speak for probably how Grant felt about the situation, I could be wrong, but I feel like this is probably how he felt. And there's no disrespect to Broadbell. There's no disrespect to Parchy, because shoot, I'm cool with Parchment. I don't really know Broadbell like that, but I respect him as an athlete. He a beast as well. But when you get to the final and they not there, I don't care.
Don't give
like it's just what it is. Like I can't do nothing about that. You know, I tip my hat. You know, I show respect and love. Like what Grant did. Like that was a beautiful moment for him to go and console dude in that situation. Because at the end of the day, getting to those championships, we all know you had to go through blood, sweat, and tears to get there. Like it's tough to make it to the highest caliber level of the event of the sport, which is Olympics and Worlds. But when you get to the finals and there's a medal on the line, you can't think about nobody else. Like you got to get the job done, because at the end of the day, those lanes next to you still gonna be filled, and you got to run against those competitors. Like we seen, like just briefly, what we were just talking about with the women's hurdles. Did any of us have Danielle Pitt?
No,
So
I didn't.
there's
I wasn't
still
surprised.
a race.
Wasn't surprised.
I wasn't surprised.
Nah, I was surprised. I was definitely surprised, dog.
But
I was
that's
definitely
the
surprised.
point.
Think
Like,
of the
you
names:
still
Camacho,
got to
Quinn,
run.
Toby Amasa.
Yeah, you got to beat it to
still
win it,
gotta run.
right?
Yeah,
still gotta
you got
run.
to. You got
Like,
to.
that's-
And shout out
what
to
it is.
Grant, man. 3-time triple world champ. 19,
Grant a
22.
soldier. Grant a
He
soldier.
said he'll always. He said when he was on the show, he said, "Look, I'm always going to be ready." So
And he's proved that. He's proved
I'm worried
that.
about what's happening in my lane. It ain't got nothing to do with me, yo. I'm gonna be ready.
He's proved that.
Yeah, so that's just what it
But
is.
he's called
man.
himself the Wonder Boy,
Wonder Boy, yeah.
doing wonderful things in the hurdles, man.
He's doing his thing still.
And he can mean a run 4x4, and he can long jump.
Yeah, he can do a lot of things. Yo, the man ran 640 and 60.
Yes, he did. And I think he could be a nice wide receiver.
Good, yo. Don't tempt him, yo. I'm sure he's making some good money in track.
No, but I see him doing that, you know.
After?
Him being so dominant, I can see him going to another sport.
Yeah. Yeah, if they try to get funny with his contract money, yo, I can see him back. Well, do something else, yo.
It's like when Mulaney Walker switched from the 4 hurdles to the 100 hurdles because she was so dominant in the 4 hurdles. It wasn't the same.
Maybe. But I feel like a lot of these guys want revenge. I think Broadbell's gonna want revenge for sure.
Where was Devin Allen this year?
Yeah, I don't know. That football thing isn't working. It's not, the crossover isn't working very well anymore. I think it's catching up to him.
He used to come back in the mix.
Yeah, or maybe just be done with track. Maybe he will. Well, maybe not. Maybe he feels like he could still. Who knows what happened with Devin? But I'm just saying, like, it's gonna be a tough double, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a different kind of double.
Facts.
All right, but let's talk about these men's. Let's talk about these 4x100s. But do you want to talk about the men's 400 by any chance?
Yes.
You want to talk about it? Let's talk about the men's 400 real quick.
Well, your
Pick
thoughts
up the women's 400. Marlene Paulinho doing what she was supposed to do.
I actually got my prediction right on that.
On the women's?
I had Paulinho, I had the Polish girl, and I had...
You did say the Polish.
Yeah, no one was showing her love.
You did say the Polish girl. You
I
did.
don't know where the Nasser, the Bahrain lady.
Nasser just didn't show up, so that was one of my picks. So that was.
Can't do
I
that.
wonder why.
And the Zambian kid is up in the 400.
For real. I don't know.
Trey, what do you think about the 400? Because you stood strong on Matt and Vernon, and they came 2nd and 4th respectively. So your guys had a great chance.
They did.
Yeah, man. Dog. Man, I wanted Vernon to get on that motherfucker, dog. Pause.
Yeah, same.
Dog. It was
Pause.
like, yeah. I had to say pause on that. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, good
That
pause.
y'all know what I mean. But,
Pause.
Hey, shout out V Nasty 47, man. Nicest guy in track and field.
you know, it's one of them situations where I'm like, man, like I don't know how. What's the name, bruh? Quincy Hall, who got
Watson.
third. I don't know how or what he dug into to move to that third place position.
Yeah.
No, that was wild to me because I thought I was like, oh, Vernon and Matt they on the podium, and then you just see dude just like I'm like the form is unorthodox, bro. Like I'm like, how in the final as a race like this, how did he go and get into that position, that podium position? It was mind blowing, but I mean, I think Vernon gonna be able to bounce back from this and go out there and try to get him an Olympic one.
Yeah, I interviewed him before when he was in London. He was just thinking about the win, He said, honestly, I feel like it's wide open, man. I feel like I could win, and he legitimately had a shot.
Nah, he did.
But yeah, Quincy just after a long NCAA season was able to pull that through. There's been some requests in the chat to talk about Fred. I think before we go into these 4x100s, we could talk about Fred. Big up the one named Matthew Hudson Smith, by the way, though.
MHS, man, battling
that 400.
Achilles tendonitis.
Did his thing still.
Didn't
Wait,
run
bro,
at
name is
trials.
Quincy Watson or Quincy Hall?
Quincy Hall.
Quincy, what is it? Is it? No,
Somebody
Watson
said
was the Jamaican who won.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's his first name though?
That's so disrespectful.
Chris? No, what's his first name? The guy who the Jamaican kid who won.
Watson, man. 44-1 in the semis, man.
Did his thing,
Yeah, Watson.
Shout out Matt Hudson Smith. I actually was commentating on that. I done a post-race analysis on that race
The fourth.
for the BBC.
For real.
They say Antonio.
having like
predictions?
Antonio Watson.
yeah,
For real.
having two of my closest friends in that final was gripping, man. Like
That's a trip.
but that's motivating. Like honestly, like shout out to both of them. Shout out
Yeah, man, big
to
up
Matt
Matt
Hudson
G,
Smith. Shout out to can I press
Yeah,
it?
go ahead, man.
Shout out to V Nasty. Oh yeah, let's get him down.
Oh, Vernon will definitely jump on this.
Yeah, we need him.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie though.
Yeah.
Every prediction where y'all looked at me like, man, Trey, I don't know. I told y'all, man, bro's been looking good. Cause I said the same thing with Sonny Brown. Even though he didn't get on the podium, he didn't get on the podium, but he
looked better than we expected.
Exactly. When everybody seen the
Brown
prelim, they
is
was
a
like,
serial finalist, man. He's a
He
serial
did his thing.
finalist.
Sonny did,
bro,
yo, Sonny did
You know
his
what it
thing.
is? He's just
I'd love to have
he's
him on
just
the show,
quiet.
too.
Like I don't know him. You train with
Yeah.
him, right? But if you say
Yeah, he
Sonny
ain't
Brown's
quiet
gonna
at
make a
practice.
final, I believe it.
For real? I say
He
he
ain't
had the
quiet at
meanest
practice.
walkout though. His walkout, he looked like a soldier, bitch. And I was like, yo, this guy looks like he's about to
bro.
chop somebody up, yo.
Really?
Yo, I like him, yo. It was a good pick. Well, it was a respectable pick. It was more respectable than we would have thought.
Antonio.
Yeah.
Antonio what?
But let's talk about Fred real quick. So Fred's the defending world champion in 100, didn't make the final. Huge surprise. Messed
Yeah.
up a lot of picks.
Yeah.
If it was Vegas and there was bets,
Fucked
people
up
would've
people's
lost a lot of
parlays,
money.
man.
What happened there, in your opinion, Trey?
Man, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I can't speak on this topic, dog. And the only reason why
Alright.
I can't speak on this topic, not just because Fred the homie, but obviously same situation happened to me Olympic year. I came in as a favorite and I didn't make it out of the semi. So I can't speak on something that I did myself as well.
That's kind of why I'm asking you, though.
I'm gonna say it like this. I know how you feel because you like I know I put in the work and I know what I can do, especially against these guys. And when it don't happen, it sucks. Like it sucks. Like it does, dog. Like Fred seen how much it affected me in Tokyo. I was confused, bro. Like I was walking around like I lost all my family members. I'm like, bro, what happened? Like I didn't know what happened. So only thing I can say really to the fact is that I know Fred, just like myself in that next following year, you're gonna come back with a hunger, you're gonna come back with that, that grit to wanna make up for those situations, and get back on the podium. So I think he gonna take it, take it to the chest, own it all, take it to the head and go on about it and get ready for next year.
Yeah, I was surprised to say the least.
Yeah.
I got sent some footage of Fred's block position in the heats and his block position in the semi. he switched his feet. I don't know why. I can only assume it was an injury. The Fred's not going to come out and say that. But I can say I saw the footage. Heats, I can't remember what leg, but the footing was different. The front leg was different. So he might have had to adjust for something that he was dealing with. Obviously, he wasn't himself. Looked good in the heat. Very easy. Ran the heat how you're supposed to. He was second in his heat, but he was chilling. But it's unfortunate to not see the defending world champion in the final.
Yeah. I think everybody was shocked by that. But like one thing we can say about that's a blip. You don't account that happening again. Like,
No.
Once again, Trey's more qualified to speak on this more than anybody being in a similar situation, as he just said a while ago. But it was a shock for us all.
Yeah.
Because even leading into this, I think we all unanimously had him winning it. Certified for a medal at least, you know?
Yeah.
So...
He's running in China on Saturday.
Yeah, he is.
A bunch of people out there. Marv's out there.
Shout out to the man like
There's
Bracy.
some people out there running still.
I want to say,
But yeah, he'll be back.
Marv, Coleman, Brandon, Fred. It's gonna be nice.
These guys are gonna close the season out strong, yo. Like, we're still gonna see some times.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to see some SBs for sure.
Yeah. Okay, let's close these 4x1s before we get up out of here. You gotta get up out of here.
I'll get a haircut.
Yeah. This guy's got an engagement tomorrow. He's got to get his hair cut.
She's just getting married.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, word.
Okay, let's start with the women. Get in with the men. I saw Shelly getting yammed on the second leg by TT Terry, right? And I was like, how did that happen? Watched it back, and I saw the front view. She kind of grimaced with like 40 meters left for her to run and slowed down totally. So obviously she must have pulled something. Does the USA still win that race if Shelly didn't pull up with an injury? Trey.
Man, I just don't.
Take your USA health.
Dog, I just don't know how much closer, if we speaking hypothetically, right? How much closer would Sharika have been to Shakiri?
A lot.
I think that kind of plays the fact. But when they got the stick, like I gotta go back and watch the race, bro. I wish we could pull up the race right now, watch it, so we can kind of get up.
I know.
Cause like I don't know why, and I could be wrong. So people in the chat don't quote me. Y'all don't quote me. I don't know why I feel like the stick was slightly closer than the gap that was ended going into the line. So I almost feel like even if Shelly didn't have, because we all see that Shelly kind of was banged up going into those last meters of that handoff. I think it ends still with USA winning, but almost like how Andre and Marv was at Eugene. I think it's just a lot closer. I still think USA would have won.
For real? Okay.
Because we seen Sharika close on TT last year, but it's like, can we honestly say Sharika would have closed on Sha'Carri when we see that Sha'Carri is like her top end is crazy too.
Yeah.
Like 10-6 can't really catch 10-6.
Exactly.
Or 10-6 can't catch 10-7.
Right.
10-7 can't catch 10-6.
That's true. The final leg. By the way, big up the final leg. If you aren't following the final leg on YouTube, go ahead and do that. Yo, premier track and field content. He said the USA still wins. Sha'Carri would have still had the lead or been even, and not sure if Sharika would have been able to run her down. It's fair. I think
it's tough to catch somebody like what Nethaneel said. It's hard for a 10-6 to catch a 10-6 and then put some separation to win. Like that's the thing.
Did the stagger really change between them? Did it pretty much stay the same?
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
And that's great to both of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's relays. That's just what it is. If you get the stick behind, you get the stick behind. That's just part of the race, yo. So unfortunate for Shelly that she got injured. Yo, hopefully she's all right and can still prepare for next year. Okay, let's talk about the men.
Let's talk about
Shout out the Dream. They must know me from Jamaica.
Dream said British. Big up, bro.
I don't got my USA flag.
Your name was British?
For real? Flag there, man.
gonna start calling you that, Doug.
No, don't do that.
But,
PTSD. Wait, you want to bring a flag out? You said.
Dang,
Did
man.
you just say you're
I
gonna bring
had
a flag out?
I had my flag for the show, but
Man, Captain America, honey, where's my
I think
super
my
suit?
I think my
Don't be
mama, she
disrespectful.
moved it because she heard me talking how Anson probably was gonna be sad on the show, so I think she moved the flag because she don't really like me
Let me say
gloating like
something.
that. You know what I'm saying?
Let me say something.
What's possible?
I've always only tried to help you guys. I just give suggestions. Now, if it comes up of who the world champion is, I gotta say who it is.
It's America.
No, I'm saying, well, before. I gotta say if Canada's the world champion. I wasn't gloating. I tried to help y'all, man. I want y'all to do what y'all do.
It wasn't last year like a leap year, so like weird stuff happens
said it
in a
was a
leap
leap
year.
Yo, but check this out. Listen, Prescott not running was a big deal. Like he totally takes that on. That's totally on him.
No.
The fact that the men did not get a medal.
I'm gonna say no.
Why?
Because Prescott would have anchored.
Okay.
Eugene Ambadadzi's numbers were very good.
No, I'm not saying he would have gone third though.
Prescott wouldn't have gone third.
No, I'm saying that
Eugene.
Ambadadzi would have gone
I
third.
don't know.
You have to. When
Hey,
you put
bruh.
Prescott, you put Prescott anchor.
I'm not gonna lie. I had to pull up the women's 4x1, bro. I don't know, boy.
Me too.
I think US still wins that, dog. I don't
agree.
know if you can get. I don't think you can get closer than where they were. I wish I could screenshot this, dog. Like this.
Did
is
Gabby
crazy.
run third? Did Gabby run third?
TT made up the stagger on second leg though,
Gabby
dog.
ran a good. I get that answer. Gabby ran a good third leg, and that
It's
was
Gabby
that
against
was the
Sasha
big
Lee
question
Forbes,
for
right?
everybody. Because everybody
Yeah,
thought
I
Gabby
think-
should have went second, but I think she proved everybody wrong that Gabby
No, she ran
finished
well.
that third leg.
She ran well. She ran really well.
But looking
Really
at this, bro, I mean Shakiri is only like a step ahead of Sharika leaving out of the exchange zone, and they got to stick at the same time at their distance. So it's like,
Right.
what would you basically be asking? Are we saying that Shelly was just gonna leave TT and it wasn't even gonna be close for Jamaica and it was gonna run away with the gold? Is it gonna be side by side, bro? That's because I don't think you can get closer than what I'm looking at right now for the women's 4x1. I don't think you can get any closer than that. I'm like literally, I just hit pause and they got to stick at the exact same time, dog.
For real.
The exact same time.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying.
but it's a step. So
I'm just saying this. I just feel like a lot of ground was lost on that second leg. That's all I'm saying. Actual Random said Prescott would replace Jamili, which is a significant difference. This is what
Did
I'm
Adam
doing.
really run
They've been
bad?
keeping him-
Adam didn't run bad though. Like when I watched
He
the
didn't run
man's
bad,
replay,
but he didn't run bad, but it's just the foot speed was just it's in a different place.
I think
Prescott's
part of it
awesome.
also may have been that's Eugene's first ever champs, Eugene's second ever relay apart from the heats. And I feel like Great Britain typically are a bit more expansive with the exchange zones because we understand other countries have like significant foot power, like frequency, foot speed. So I think they played it kind of safe. But if you extended the zone a bit, would have been a better position. But I think USA now, they kind of got their act together and they do have the faster foot speed for 4 men. In that instance there, with the confidence of Noah, with the redemption of Fred, Coleman's going to give you a great lift regardless. And Brandon Carnes, he felt like he had a point to prove on that third leg there. They all had individual reasons for motivation. And they ran their second or third fastest time ever. So it's,
And that was fast. And y'all handoffs were bad. yo, USA's handoffs were bad. And y'all still ran 37.
But they're the only team that
Preferably,
can say they
bro,
can put
I
out
think-
4 sub-10 guys.
See, and that's what I was just about to say. Like people talk about Adam being on the relay. In my opinion, though, didn't Canada just show that they don't need 10-second or faster guys to win?
Well,
what?
apparently,
Well, I'm just saying, last year when y'all
They didn't show
won,
that this
I don't
year,
think nobody didn't run 9 seconds, right? Like everybody's time, if it was
probably
wind
did.
dated.
right. No, I
But-
agree. That
So
it's not
I
always a
don't-
factor.
Yeah, it's not always a
You're right.
factor. Because I think when people were
You're right.
seeing Reese, and shout out to Reese did his thing. That shit was running. He ran 2 sub-10s. But you know, at the end of the day, yeah, it's like it ain't always that because it got to play off the fact of where you gonna be at the leg and how would it benefit. You know, so
Yeah.
they probably
Well,
just felt
I'm
like he
seeing
was
in the
best leg
chat-
forward.
Actual Random said DeGrasse split 8.8 last year, but what did Noah split?
I don't know.
And what
Probably
did Fred split?
I don't know.
Them guys are running, dog. Yo, it was you guys ran good. Speaking of the Canadians,
Bro, how do y'all feel about the splits, dog?
I don't trust the website. I don't trust the website. Because like I can speak for Great Britain now. We have our own biomech who breaks down our own numbers. So we never look at like IWF or World Athletics or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Like that's for the masses. But we measure it differently, right? So you know, without giving too much intel,
bro,
we kind of
saying one of the guys run 8.6, dog, is crazy.
Yeah,
I think Marcel done that in Tokyo though. I can't lie. Marcel ran a back straight in Tokyo.
he ran a good backstretch here too, though.
Yeah, he flew.
Bro, 8.6 though, bro. So like it's well, we know that it's from a running start. Yes, right. But it's like 8.6 from what? Okay, let's go. Let's say Marcel ran 8.60 whatever 5, right? And his PB is 980. How is that so much of a difference, dog? Because it's not like yes, you getting a running start, but it's 9 times out of 10, everybody ain't sprinting out of the acceleration in the zone.
No, I agree. But if you get the baton late in the zone and give it off early in the next zone, then it's not even 100 meters, dog. So it's kind of like.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's the idea. That's what athletics like. That's why you gotta trust your own team. It's kind of like in training, right, Trey? Your coach's hand is consistent. If you go to another coach, you be like, wait, I'm running slow, I'm running fast, depending how they measure the metrics, right? Like I know how my coach's hand is if we don't use a free lap, for example. So you just gotta trust your team in that. But I definitely feel like Canada not making the final was a big upset. You spoke so much.
A lot of questions about why Andre didn't run the heats. You guys didn't have Zarnell run the heats, still made it through.
Yeah.
Right? I think it was expected for Canada to be able to still make it through. I don't think...
Was Balade managing something?
I don't know. Looking back at
Balade, I know Balade can.
It looked like
he's anchored for you guys a couple of times.
He anchored in Rio. He anchored in Rio in 2016. He held the spot. He was in arguably better shape this year. He was consistently ran a few 10-1s this year. That year he had touched 10-1, but it was more 10-2 guy. But it doesn't take much to hold a spot. If you're like 10-2 and down, if you're clearly in a position, you should be able to hold it, right? So maybe something was wrong. Honestly, a lot of people have been getting on Andre about not running, but I feel like he just thought that it would be simple to make it through.
Top 3, right?
At least top 3. And they had it. They were clearly
what
in
heat was
place.
y'all in? Y'all was in the second heat, right?
I think it was the second heat.
Yeah. I remember, I think it was Great Britain, South Africa.
Oh, yeah, y'all had that pressure, dog.
Was it?
Yeah, that second heat was that pressure.
Was it Jamaica? Jamaica was an America's one, right?
It was Italy?
Italy, I think.
Italy was in that race.
I remember talking to my coach. I was like, I don't know how Canada gonna do because y'all had everybody in y'all heat, dog.
But they were clearly in second, and they messed up the second exchange. Jerome missed Brendan's hand the first. I won't say messed up, but he missed his hand on the first attempt, and then.
But to the viewer though, like y'all was clear as day to make it to the final.
Clearly, very clear.
But you guys done that in 2019 though, didn't make the final. So you guys like to miss a cycle.
Why you know about all the times when Canada didn't make it? I don't like how you have it logged in your head like that. Something about that.
Oh, Canada.
I mean, he not lying though, bro. Think about it, bro. It's a lot of y'all got a lot of medals that y'all probably shouldn't have.
That's respect for your team. No, Trey's talking smack now. He said you guys have a lot of medals you shouldn't have.
A lot of medals we shouldn't have.
2015. Let's be real, bro. What happened in
2015?
We got DQ.
Why?
Yeah, we got DQ.
What is the zone? Obviously, if you're
they're like promotion kings, man. They got the best.
And then Rio
run fast.
And then Rio, we got DQ'd again. Like, bro, it's a lot.
What are we supposed to do about that? Where's Grant Hall?
Nothing. No, you're absolutely right.
What are we supposed to do about that? I don't know what we're supposed to do.
I'm just saying.
I think Trey started something, you know. I like it.
Y'all ain't get no medals you weren't supposed to get?
In what capacity?
I don't know, where someone got disqualified and you guys got moved up?
Every relay I've been part of for Great Britain, we've medaled.
I know, but have you ever been moved up?
I can't speak on anything I haven't been part of.
Have you ever moved up?
Me, I know, because we won in 2017. You can't move from gold. 2019.
Answer my question. We're talking about, mind you, so we can calculate stuff. But mind you, have you guys ever gotten a medal higher than you should have because of the DQ?
We lost one though.
Yeah, you did. You did. Hey, look, shit happens, yo.
And you guys, who moved up?
Well, let's answer this. Last year, when they won, was there any issues with DQs?
Nah, but that was an off year.
Y'all won that. Y'all won that fair and square.
Listen, you had beer. Come on, man.
Whoa. No. It was an off year. Let's be real. Let's be real. You had Fred get hurt.
Against the USA. It was against the USA in the US.
You had Fred get hurt. You had politics that didn't put me on a relay.
Oh, my God.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
I understand.
It was a lot.
Hey, this is breaking news. I ran that third leg with a torn hamstring.
No, listen, man. This ain't time to be having no excuses.
Don't worry. I'm putting it here and clip this up. Great Britain's winning gold in Paris.
Hey,
Yo,
man.
close the segment, man.
Hold on.
Hey, where's he going? He's found his flag. Oh, look at this. What's this? Oh, what's this about?
I gotta put the caps on.
Oh, big
I gotta put the caps on.
Oh. Shout my light will clear you there.
I gotta put the caps on. That man said, bruh.
Wait, are you talking like we're not nice? I know you guys.
No, y'all
fear
not,
us.
bro.
Dang, that's rude. You saying you'll never win next year?
You've been a soldier. You've been a phenomenal athlete since you came on the circuit, dog. But GB ain't winning the Olympics, bro. I'm not. That's not happening. That's not happening, bro.
I bet. Let's see. We got the best part of 300 and how many days to figure it out. What's the public saying?
Yeah, is GB winning next year, guys?
Injured. Yeah, still getting clipped.
I guarantee you this: Andre ain't gonna miss a heat again.
Nah, I don't think Trey's gonna be on the strike 4. I don't know when Trey's been part of strike 4 last. He don't like the relay. It's not part of his contract.
Man, you just start.
It's not part of his contract.
You just start bringing donuts for Mike Marsh to practice or something, dog. You just start bringing some coffees and donuts. It'll be like, hey, what's up, coach?
Hey, Trey could only run first, and Coleman got that a lot, man.
Oh, for real?
Nah.
What leg you taking, yo?
Hey,
what leg you taking? Because Coleman got
all I'm
first leg.
saying, I was supposed to be third leg in Eugene. Politics got crazy. But shout out my dog Eli. He handled business. They did their thing. But I mean,
He did.
I was supposed to be third leg, but politics got a little ugly, and
I feel like it's an after hour show. The tea's coming out now. People getting loose. It's getting loose.
Hey, it'll be interesting next Olympics, yo, for that 4x1. Okay, viewers, y'all need to watch that Jamaican men's 4x1 in the future. They're young. 21 and 22. Just saying, yo, that what's his name, yo? Jamaican cat.
Oblique?
No, the one
Stop. Raheem Ford. He was a 995 kid in the semis.
Oh
no, not him.
No.
Watson?
I'm talking about Taekwondo.
Oh yeah, he started something.
The drama, that was a madness, yo.
Yeah. He's brave though, because to do that in the midst of a team environment can cause a lot of animosity.
See, that's my only thing with it is. Now I agree, you have to speak up. But imagine the dynamic around the village, like after that comes out, and then your teammates are kind of hearing it.
He had to be at tipping point to do it there and then. Do you know what I'm saying?
I feel like it was really getting to him.
Yeah.
So it's coaches need to figure out a way to avoid scenarios like that coming up, because I mean the relay is so objective. No, subjective. But it should be objective. And that's where a lot of issues, you hear Trayvon talking about politics and issues. You hear a lot of people talking about politics and issues. It's just not very clear cut as far as who should be running and why. Yeah. And it can cause situations like that. So it's unfortunate, but I don't know. The coaches got to figure something out to make sure that the team is happy with what's going on. Yeah.
What the bigger question was, though, and Anson, man, you talked about this a little bit. Why wasn't Johan picked to be on that relay?
You guys related?
No.
You're a Blake.
I'm a Blake. So is Jerome a Blake, and he was.
They're related though.
Are they?
Yeah.
I don't believe I am, but I feel that'd be a good guest to get on the show.
Johan?
Yeah.
We've been talking about it, yo. We've been messaging. He'd be like, yeah, I'll come on. And then they'll be like, yeah, I'm thinking about it. And like, yeah, just give me some time. They'll be getting Bear runarounds, yo.
Shout
I
out
want to
the
hear his
listener.
answer to the situation, bro. Because answering like we
Johan,
talked
Johan, come on the show, Bridget.
after trials with that whole situation, Johan was handing out licks on the circuit, dog. He was
sliding. He's been
off.
consistent all year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
been consistent
so
all year,
I'm
like,
like,
And he's a vet.
yeah, I think somebody like him, I think JA would have benefited a lot with all those young guys and having
Even just having him
obviously,
around, right?
as we know, yeah, we talking about the second fastest man of all time. Like that presence will be felt. Like I remember, I think one time Anson Gatlin talked about it on the show with him being that vet, and you still had the likes of Coleman and Noah who are running top tier times. He was like, look, they believed in me being able to kind of take that charge and be like that person on the relay, so they listened to him. I think if Johan was on that relay, I think they would have had probably a better chance to pull something crazy off. Because Johan was still running fast.
Very.
Yeah, he was. He's still running, apparently.
Yeah, he's right. I think he's going to China.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
I think we're still gonna see some times, yo. Okay, to close the
Somebody
show
said
off.
he made a 200 team and didn't show up. I didn't know that.
If someone else aside from Noah runs 9-7 mid to close out the season, does it make up for not winning the world championships?
Wait, say that again?
If someone aside from Noah runs 9-7 mid or lower to close out the season, does it make up for not going to the world championships and winning?
No. You know how much backlash I still got? And I ran 9-7 at the end of the season.
In Nairobi,
I feel
right?
like you tried to be funny, Anson. I feel like you tried to play.
No, I wasn't.
Oh damn.
No, I wasn't. I actually totally forgot about that. But now that you mentioned that, that is actually kind of funny. But that's not what I did though. But yeah, you did do that. No, for real. I wouldn't. No.
Nah, he's a pussy.
No, come on, I wouldn't do that, yo. But that is kind of funny in a way, like because people are like, "Yo, where was that?"
Trey, keep your third eye open. Answer's trying to
You
jump.
know what I'm saying, man?
But I think that said a lot though, because people would be like, "Well, damn, like this guy's still putting up numbers." It just
The
doesn't
only
make it very
thing-
clear as far as who the fastest man in the world is when that happens.
Yeah, the only thing that did for me was kind of, I guess it'll show people that I could run fast overseas, because I think that was the biggest question for everybody. But outside of that, it doesn't do nothing on why you didn't perform the way you performed. Like, if Omen y'all are going to drop 9-6 at the last race, nobody is going to be like, oh man, like he should have won the championship. They're going to be like, the best person won on that day. Simple as that.
Right.
Like, it's nothing an athlete can do outside of breaking the world record. It's nothing an athlete can do outside of the championship that's going to make up for them not performing well at the championship. Period.
I agree.
Okay.
I suffered done that in Rieti,
07.
1977. 1977.
Yep.
But yeah,
Ran 74 in the
74.
heats.
Yeah.
So unless they go and run 9.57 or lower, see you next year.
Yeah, it's
See
true.
you next year.
It's true.
That's pretty much. That's no viewer, nobody in this chat that's watching this live is gonna be like, oh man, this is supposed to be our world champion. No. See you next year. That's all they're gonna say. Congratulations on your new fast PB, but see you next year. That's just how the game go.
All right. Okay. All right. Check this out, viewers. Zurich is coming on Thursday. China, it's a certain part of China. It starts with an X. I'm not going to remember the name right now. That's on Saturday.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed the show. Respect to Nethaneel Mitchell-Blake for joining, as well as Trayvon Bromell. Go ahead and follow the Track and Field Network on Twitter and on Instagram. Go ahead and follow Voice of Track and Field on Twitter and on Instagram. At Nethaneel on Instagram.
Nethanwel.
I am Trayvon Bromell on Instagram. And I got a video coming out very soon about this whole NBA and versus Noah stuff. It's a sprinter view where I go on a rant, break down some things. Keep an eye out for that. And we'll see if we'll come back next week. Should come back next week, talk about what happens over the weekend. What's up?
I got one thing to shout out. So I got some video coming out that's gonna give everybody background of the surgery, and preparation going into 2024. So it's like I got a film crew, everything. It's gonna be coming out soon. Like pretty much the promo is about to drop, but that's gonna be coming soon, which is gonna give like from day one when I'm waking up and I gotta fast, I can't eat before my surgery. Everything's gonna show the whole nine. So It's
A
gonna be able to show
Trayvon through the
everybody what's
wire.
going on. Yeah.
Where you dropping at? Where you dropping at?
It's gonna be on my Instagram. It's gonna be like an IG series kind of thing.
Okay.
So it's gonna
Nice.
be
That's
showing
lit.
the training and everything like that. So it's gonna be on point.
That's what the streets need.
Nice.
All the best with recovery, bro.
Hell yeah, dog.
Appreciate
Respect.
it,
We need to get you back out there, yo. Fireheart said that Sharika is doing the 200 in Zurich. She pulled out from the 100. So she's doing the 200, trying to get the world record.
That's the place.
Okay.
Altitude.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, viewers, big up yourselves, yo. Respect for the tune in. Go ahead and hit all those follow buttons. If you haven't hit the like button, go ahead and hit that follow unconventional and go ahead and follow the Track and Field Network. More content coming to you. Big up Track and Field every day out. Yeah, we are, yo. Peace.
Peace.